Hello, friends. Welcome to the Say It Loud podcast. I'm your host, Matt Jones. Super stoked to have Chace Levi and Storme Levi on the show this week. They run Trickfinger Records. It's a new record label marketing operation in Austin. They're doing things a little bit differently, changing the model, if you will, creating an independent culture at a record label in Austin. Their husband and wife team, they've both been in the business for a long time. Chace has been in production. He's a musician. Storme's had a marketing background for years. They have some good ideas. They definitely take their business seriously, but they don't take themselves too seriously. So it's always fun to have people like that on the podcast. It was really fun to listen to again. We laughed a lot. I heard their 6-month plan, their year-long plan, their 5-year plan. You better know yours too. But don't come at them with, my band is a baby of this baby and this baby, which doesn't make sense. Babies having babies. It was a super fun show. So be sure to check them out at trickfinger.us. It's easy to remember. It's just Trickfinger Us. And check out Fair City Fire at the Too Damn Hot Affair on August 31st. It's going to be a big show benefiting Sims. I'll be the host again. It's so fun there. It's going to be at Antone's. Austin Detours is helping us put it on. We're going to feature Ace and Claire, Lola Tried, Megafauna, a mammoth show. So excited. Go check it out on Facebook or go to Antone's website, go to faircityfire.com. And thanks for listening. Enjoy. Yeah. What's Brett doing? Checking the toilet?
I think he's checking it.
Is the toilet okay?
Is there a mic on the toilet?
Just making sure you didn't flush it.
No,
he doesn't like
He said yellow mellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
was I not supposed
No.
Oh, dear God.
I thought he specifically told you not to flush it.
Because I did. So.
God damn it.
This is why we can't have nice
This
things.
is awkward. That's okay. We'll review the footage later and see what happened.
Oh, shit. I'm going to go now. You guys are creepy
Podcast is over.
motherfuckers.
Yeah. You didn't know this was about bowel movements?
Yeah.
I mean, it can be.
There's the drummer.
Joseph is here. Might as well get him in.
Oh.
Drummer's always
He's
late.
Except for mine. He's there before everybody.
You've got a rare one then.
Yeah, no, I put
unicorn.
that shit on lock. I asked him
Yeah.
to marry me drum-wise.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
drummer.
Did he go right for the fridge, too?
Come here. Who's your
Man, he's
Classic
living
move.
up to every drummer cliche.
Yeah?
What's up, y'all? Hi.
What's
drummer.
up?
How we doing?
Do you have a name other than drummer?
Joe.
Joe?
Hi,
Okay.
Joe.
Hi, Joe.
I'm Storme.
Nice to meet you, Storme.
Chase.
Nice to meet you, Chase.
That's a good way to
Chasers.
start.
yeah.
Yeah.
Storme and Chace, is it Levy or
Levi.
Levi.
Back to jeans.
All right.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Storme and Chace.
None of the money
Levi.
from them, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Got
Thank you
Fair
for
City
having
Fire
us.
here, welcoming Storme and Chace. Got Brett,
Hello.
Brian.
Yo.
Joe's here. I think
Hello.
Clint might join us. Who knows? He's always kind of a
Wild card.
We've
could-
always got a seat open for him.
We
Yeah,
could
we'll
always
see.
do his segment later if we
Yeah.
need to.
It's a
Well,
popular one.
So with Trickfinger Record and management, a new label in town. So I think we definitely want to talk about that a lot
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
That's a fun word, Trickfinger. I was trying to figure out the
Yes.
etymology of that. I was like, I think that was a move I did in high school. I couldn't remember.
I've had so many people say it sounds like a dirty sex thing or it
Yeah,
sounds like
well,
a magician.
Especially because our website is trickfinger.us, so
Yeah.
it's Trickfinger Us.
Trickfinger
Oh,
us,
yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, that's
It's
good.
actually...
How was that not taken already? I don't know.
No, can you believe it?
Cha-ching.
It's actually my nickname for Chace every time he does something crazy cool on the guitar.
Trickfinger.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
But I
see.
also have to give credit
get
where
it.
credit is due. John Frusciante is
Oh,
my
yeah.
all-time
Yep.
favorite musician.
Nice.
And he, in the early 2000s, had a very short-lived side project.
Yeah, we were
called
talking about that
Trickfinger.
a little earlier.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a little bit of an homage to,
Yeah.
to my boy.
Yeah, we were wondering if it had come from that. Yeah, we're a Frusciante home for sure.
Yep.
Here,
Yes.
we dig it.
Brian and
Yeah.
I talked about that
Yeah.
over coffee a couple
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
ago.
We sure did.
Well, welcome, guys. So how long you been at it? It seems it's a pretty fresh project, right?
The record
Fresh
label's only
yeah.
been around since March.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it has taken off like gangbusters, a little quicker than we were anticipating.
Yeah, I was doing phone interviews with some, we need some additional hands on deck, like fast, because this thing is spiraling like we never thought that it would. It's a
Nice.
good problem to have, but a problem nonetheless when it's just the two of us for the moment. So,
Heck yeah.
So
yeah.
I was just thinking, like, record label, like, why?
Seriously,
Why
like,
put yourself through the why? Like, what's like? You know what the world needs is a record label. The
like they
music
need a
industry
hole in
needs
their
a
head.
record label.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially in Austin, we need
Yeah,
another
yeah.
record label. But they're all doing the same damn thing.
Yeah.
It's literally the same business model, and it's the same business model that's been around since the 60s and 70s, and it doesn't work anymore.
Right.
So we wanted to do. I'm a musician too. I play in a band. We wanted to create a label that I would sign to,
Yeah.
that would do something different. Like not own masters was a big one. That was a point of
Not own
contention.
the masters, as you
Yeah,
said.
I don't-
we don't
I
own
don't
any of
believe-
our
Yeah.
artist masters.
I don't believe it's right to own someone else's art in that respect. That's not what we're here to do. So that's actually like the first point of contention when we sat down and decided we were going to write a label together. I was like, we're not going to own the artist masters.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
me
happening.
from a marketing and I'm a publicist from my background. Like, well, how are we going to monetize this thing if we don't own masters? But we came up with plenty of ways. We're here to really give artists all of the resources of a traditional record label, but we're turning the traditional model in on its head. We don't own your masters. We don't own any compositions. We're here to foster the artists, nurture them, and allow them to thrive in the independent culture that we're creating. So, we're trying to be the future of the business. So we're adapting and molding ourselves to fit the independent artists of today.
And not every artist needs the same type of thing. I mean, the record label mold is that everybody has to fit into this one category. Not everybody needs somebody to help them produce records. Not everybody needs somebody to help them build a website or take photos or build their brand. Some people already have that established. They just need the shiny shellac on there, where Stormy does the shiny shellac.
Yeah.
So-
Just to before we go any further, so Chase, your experience is in record production. I mean, you're a performer, musician,
I've played bass since I was 7 years old,
Yeah.
and I've worked in a recording studio since I was 13.
and you have extensive.
25 plus years.
yeah, right.
I have two degrees from college in studio composition and production, my bachelor's and my master's.
And 7 Grammy nominations
Right.
that he probably won't brag about, so I have to.
Well, that's because your PR experience,
Yeah,
right?
there you go,
It's-
So
Yeah. That was
she's
perfect.
represented.
Exactly.
And I have her history. Hold on one second. What's this word that you wrote on my hand that I'm pointing to? No, she's done PR from the owner of Riedel Glassware to
Oh, yeah.
Francis Ford
All
Coppola
right.
to
Oh, yeah.
Spoon. So yeah, just a little
Fizz.
history between the two of us.
Very nice. Nice.
And we
Great.
decided that we don't spend enough time together being married and
Being
living in
married.
the same house. We want to spend more time together. So let's start a business together.
There you go.
All right.
Exactly.
And then what are we good at?
I
So-
mean, speaking of the business part, as a musician, and when you're sitting down writing these, you're thinking of this is how we're going to approach it. We're not going to own the masters and stuff. Then from the business side, it's like you're talking about making money. It's like, well, to an artist that maybe on a lower level, they hear, well, what is it? What's the catch
What's the
here?
catch?
What's the trick?
Yeah.
it's like everybody's favorite question.
Yeah, I would assume
Well,
that's the
I mean,
first thing that kind of pops in mind.
I'm sure you guys are all fairly familiar with Cobalt. A lot of when we were kind of putting all of this together and allowing it to come to fruition, I was really modeling a lot of what we were doing off of Cobalt. They offer label services. So we have a couple of our artists, like one of our principal artists, Demi the Daredevil. He's really blowing up right now, and he kind of has his own recording and mixing on lock. He works with Sean O'Keefe from Fall Out Boy, and he doesn't really need us for that. But what he does is he employs our services for marketing, public relations, promotions, distribution, that kind of stuff. So we can kind of present an artist an a la carte menu of services and say, what do you need? We're here to help you however you need help.
That's pretty nice.
And, we'll charge an artist a flat fee for whatever services they need. And it's worked out really, really well. We don't need to own your creativity in order to thrive. We just don't.
Nice. I would
Yeah.
imagine like that can keep a lot of artists from wanting to sign, especially nowadays with.
Oh, sure. You
how
can do
easy
it yourself.
Just to do it all on your own.
Yeah, I mean, the internet really has leveled the playing field, and especially with digital distribution and things like that, you don't need to be signed to a record label in the traditional sense in order to be successful. But it would be nice to have, experience and expertise and money and things like that behind you as you're trying to do all this. And that's what we're trying to do when I say we're trying to give them the resources of a label while promoting their independence, allowing them to stand on their own 2 feet. We're supplementing them.
Yeah, when I read through your website, and I mean this in the best way, like you seem really confident in what you're going to be able to provide to musicians, and it's kind of ballsy in a way. You say like, and it's like, I'm sure you have to put that foot forward, like we can do these things for you, but everybody else says that too. I mean, what in your experience, since you have so much, I mean, what makes you believe that you can see the music landscape for what it is, and you can kind of deliver what you think artists need right now?
I think it's just over 16 years that we've been doing this or some version of this, we've come up with a very strong and cohesive way of navigating this complex ecosystem. It's obviously a lot about networking and relationship building, and just keeping the right people in your back pocket and working to mutually benefit each other, establishing symbiotic relationships with people across the industry. I think just really knowing how to properly navigate things and which buttons to push. I know that's kind of a vague and nebulous answer, but if that makes any sense at all, I think that's where our confidence comes from. We know what buttons to push to get you where you need to be, if that makes sense.
You said you've kind of like mastered the art of networking.
Sure.
And is it an art, networking? Is that how you... I was kind of curious. I mean, I know it's like a term.
It's a very chaotic art.
But I never thought about it as like an art.
So the daytime version of me is the program chair of media, and every quarter, because that's the way the college that I work at works, every quarter I have to do an orientation, and I tell the students that the only difference between the students that don't succeed and the students that do succeed is networking. And they all look at me like, yeah, we keep hearing this word. There's seminars about it, but how do you do that? And it's being in the right place at the right time and finding the organizations that are helping you achieve what it is that you want to achieve. A lot of artists, the first question that I ask them is, where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be in a year? And where do you want to be in 5 years? Are your goals realistic for what you have? She always goes, get ready. Here are the Chace questions when we meet with somebody. But those are the things. And then if you have a clear-cut idea of what it is that you want to do, then we could sit there and map out all the necessary steps. I mean, it's really not rocket science. All necessary steps to get you to that next spot. And a lot of it is, okay, well, in order to achieve this, you have to do X, Y, and Z. So let's help you get X, Y, and Z done.
Is that a prerequisite when you guys are looking at acts? Is they have an idea of what they want to do already?
That's absolutely something that's really important to me. I field submissions. I spend about an hour a day fielding submissions from artists.
Like how many do you get in a week or something? I mean,
oh gosh,
I know you're still new, but you
tens a day.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Word of mouth goes really far in this town. It's a really small
Listen to my
industry.
friend's tape, and we've actually. We're starting to develop a name for ourselves in the hip-hop community. In my opinion, that's quite a shockingly underrepresented genre, considering how strong the underground scene is. Mm-hmm. Those guys just don't have any sort of official infrastructure. They rely on Instagram and their counterparts in the scene. But yeah, we basically will ask someone what they want. What do you want us to do for you? And if they say, I don't know, I just want to be famous and get some chicks and make money, and like you're not ready for us then yet,
Well,
and
good luck to you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, but
like your artist, is it D Harmon? Mm-hmm. Is that right?
D Anthony Harmon. Yep.
Yeah.
He
So
D.
I
Harmon.
was checking kind of his stuff out, and you've only been open since March, and he's got a lot of content, like a lot of videos, like kind of pro videos, and I think he had 2 full-length albums already.
Yeah.
We
did
the second one.
You did do the second
we
one.
did the second
Volume
one.
2.
Mm-hmm. Volume 2 is ours. D is from Luxembourg, the tiny little European country of Luxembourg. And this guy has risen to cult-like status over there. He cannot walk down the street without getting mobbed. over there. He's big in France and Germany and all the little countries that surround there. He's actually over there right now playing some shows and hanging out with family and friends. He moved over here about a year ago, and we met him
at a show.
We met him at a show, and he performed, and my jaw dropped.
So I always like inviting her out. If I tell her she's going to like an artist, she's not going to like them on principle. But if I invite her to a show that I know that she's going to like a band, I like watching the reaction when it takes over. Like, why? She looks at me like, why were you keeping this a secret?
Why haven't you told me about this guy?
We have another rock band that we're working with right now that we did that. I invited him onto a bill, and I was just waiting for the moment that they took the stage, just so she could like hit me in the arm and be like, "Why? Where did he come from?"
Why haven't you told me about these guys yet? Yeah.
So
what's their names?
The Swift Drag.
Swift Drag. Yeah. They're a rock duo. Oh man, these guys are good. They sound like the Black Keys.
If they had balls.
Shots
fired.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Welcome to the label.
Lost a lot of listeners. That one.
I'm cool with that.
Just stopped listening to us.
I like the Black Keys.
I like the Black Keys too, but I wouldn't necessarily say that.
Yeah, you got to hype your new band.
Yeah.
They're great. They're great. They have a very, raw minimalist thing going on, but yeah, it definitely has some heft.
Cool.
Minimalist as far as band members, not so much as pedal boards.
Yeah.
Just throwing it
Yeah,
out.
I asked them afterwards. I said, "How did that much noise come out of you two on stage?" And
he pointed down.
Pedals.
Yeah, he looks like Michael Flatley when he's playing on stage.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're really fortunate to have some very bright artists and some very unique artists on the label. The guy that we just signed to our roster most recently, he's a hip hop artist named Ghostboy JC, and he has this amazing voice that he can transcend from very, very raw, hard hitting hip hop to R&B to almost kind of like a Bob Marley reggae feel to his voice. And his style is just constantly changing and growing and evolving, and we're really having some fun in the studio with him. His highly anticipated follow-up project is coming out in the next couple of months.
Also a volume 2. We have a theme.
Yeah. We do a lot of volume 2s.
If you're a hip hop artist and you're working on volume 2, hit us up.
Yeah.
So when you're saying you're signing artists, like my understanding is like we're coming to you, all the cart, let's get this, I want this and this. So when you say you're signing someone, what does that mean exactly?
That's a little bit of
I think, maybe you're going to pay for their first album, and then after it releases, you recoup your losses and then go from there.
Right.
Whereas before, my understanding of what it is we come to you, and it's like a flat fee here. We want to do publishing. Like we want to do marketing. Can you help us there? And we discuss and we go from there. So
it's not we give you a record advance and you go make money.
Right.
And you hope that
and
so then what do you
sign.
consider when you say sign? What does that mean then exactly?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we at this point don't even have the funds even if we wanted to offer someone a $100,000 advance to go and make your album.
Right.
And that's part
That'd
of
be in Vegas.
Yeah, I know. That's part of the traditional record label model that we are trying to avoid.
Right.
Because those artists are, just in debt to their labels for God knows how long, forever. So we will offer the a la carte menu of services. We call that a label services deal. We also offer more traditional structured deals like a net profit deal, for example, which is what we've used when we sign some of our other artists. So we will front all of the money for your projects, for your website, for your photos, for whatever you need, your tour expenses, things like that. They repay the expenses off the back end, and then there's a profit split depending on what area of their career we're talking about. But
you consider that would be like your artists that you have on the website. I'm assuming they're under a certain thing, as opposed, let's say we tomorrow come and go, hey, we want to do your marketing, help us market
ourselves a little
better.
We'd still put you on the website, but
so we're considered signed at that point.
I
guess that's where I'm confused.
That's like an incubator stage. So there's a lot of artists that we consider tied to the record label, and those are the ones that we feature on the website. Signed is different.
Okay, so that's kind of what I was thinking. Like between us using the services and then being signed would be two different things, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all considered artists under the Trickfinger family of artists. However, being signed to a label, you will be dealing with a different kind of deal structure than someone who's just doing label services.
Because I would assume, like, if, being in a town like this, you would get a lot of people coming to you, hey, help us with this, help us with that, right? And so some of them may or may not reach your standards, but if they're willing, if they've got the money, you're probably willing to help.
Exactly.
But would you want to say, yeah, this artist is signed, or they're using our services? Like, you wouldn't promote it as, hey, our artist, so-and-so.
Yeah, the artist that we have featured on our website, family members, part of the Trickfinger Records company.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I was curious. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for clarifying. I
Yeah.
can understand how that would be a little confusing. We've even had other businesses come to us with, hey, can you help us with marketing and PR? And so we're actually thinking of expanding it to, maybe a public relations division of the label, because we've had, still under the music industry umbrella, but not artists that have come to us saying, we'd like to pay you for your public relations services.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can you help me with my Bumble? Is that a flat rate?
Absolutely.
Cut
We
on
might
the
have
back
to
end.
sign you for that. That's a pretty big
That'll be my department.
Bumble services fall underneath sign services.
I'm looking to bat 5. Like 5%. Yeah.
I know nothing about those websites. That's the one that's run
Apparently,
by
I don't
women.
either.
Or,
I'm real bad at it.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's kind of like a nebulous thing, like in terms of like who you could be interested in. It's like you're talking about somebody that knows what they want to do. You obviously want to see talent, but when you're considering that part of the band, how much do you also weigh the business side of what they could bring? Like,
Oh, yeah.
are you where's the balance of talent?
So
look,
mine is
versus like this isn't the pulse of what. How much do you try to figure out where the pulse is right now in terms of like popular music, like that kind of thing?
Well,
It's
we don't
hard.
follow that so much, but
Okay.
my standard questions are the milestones. Where do you want to be? Hers are how do you describe what you do? That's a really easy way to filter the bullshit. Ooh, can I say bullshit?
Yeah.
Dude, you can say whatever you
Fuck
want.
yeah.
Why don't you
Whatever the
tell us
fuck you
about
want.
some of the bullshit? Like, what kind of stuff do artists say where you? It's like right away. You're like, that's already.
This is the one where she reprimanded me right off the bat when she just told me to describe my own band. She goes, if you say it's a cross or it's a baby of these
right.
two artists.
We sound like this
Interesting.
band and this
Everybody
band had
does
a
that
baby.
then, right?
I know. Everybody does it.
It's a
kind
deal
of,
breaker.
It's just reflex
It's not
almost.
a deal breaker, but it's just it's a pet peeve. It's a pet peeve. Don't say we sound like X band and Y band had a baby.
Yeah.
You've
But-
got to come
yeah.
up with something better
But
than
then
that.
it seems like also a lot of people in the industry ask like, what are you a cross between? So they're probably so used to saying that.
Probably,
too.
Yeah.
probably.
So then what's a good answer?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I just want them to give me some really good descriptive terms. I mean, you can give me artists that influence you or, artists that you use as a reference point or something like that. But that one specific line, we sound like the Black Keys and the Kills had a baby or,
I'd listen
Yeah.
to that band.
I actually would listen to that band too.
as long
If
as
they
that
had balls.
Look at that. Look at that. That's good shit.
That's
is it-
interesting. I never would have thought that. Like that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people always think they're being creative when they say that. Like
I think
these two
so,
bands
too.
had a baby because I feel like also most bands that probably approach you guys are probably not people that have like talked to a ton of labels in the past.
Probably not.
So it's
no.
probably like a thing where they're like, this seems like the right thing to say.
Yeah,
So I'm going to
they're
say
not
this.
getting turned down by RCA in Columbia and then coming to us, So I
Yeah,
think
yeah. I mean, so it's probably like they're probably maybe not used to like that,
Sure.
pitching themselves like that. But it's
And that's where, I think the experience comes in. It's like, okay, are they incredibly talented and just possibly not very articulate or very used to having to articulate their sound? We can pick that out for the most part. The question I always seem to fall back on is what makes you newsworthy? Being a publicist and viewing things from that angle, like what's going to make people write about you? Tell me that story. What sets you apart? What in what ways are you pushing the boundaries of your genre? In what ways are you pushing the envelope? What's going to make people want to write about you? Because that's what my job is, once he lays everything down, he as in Chace and our, team of engineers, my job starts. I have to promote you. I have to let the world know about you. And if you're not giving me something that's newsworthy, nobody's going to pay attention.
Yeah, if you're not interested, then no one's going to be interested.
Yeah, so that's the question I tend to ask. Not what do you sound like, but why do people give a shit?
Why should we give a shit?
Why should the world give a shit about you? So
yeah,
and
sense.
we've had some good answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it like life history? Is it like the way they describe their passion?
We're
I
not the
guess
voice, like the
Yeah.
sad story. Everybody's got a sad story.
Yeah.
You talk to somebody long enough, you're going to find some heartache in their history.
Yeah.
I definitely think it was the passion. Mm-hmm. You could tell somebody's just playing to get chicks, or just got a guitar yesterday, or somebody that like plays 50 shows a month and they don't care if people show up, they're still giving 100% at that show. Mm-hmm. Every show is like they're playing the Garden. I want to see that band. I want to have that person, because that person's going to walk through fire to get to their dream.
Yeah, we have one artist. He's now a duo, actually. Demi the Daredevil. This guy has put in the work, and things are really starting to happen for him now, just because he started working with people who have experience, like I said earlier, pushing the right buttons. So he's had a lot of opportunities recently that are about to kind of bubble over onto the surface. But talk about passion. I mean, this guy lives, eats, sleeps, and breathes his art. And it's art. It really is. It's just absolutely beautiful.
If you follow him on Twitter, I mean, he was at a 21 Pilots show with 6 different pairs of headphones and his phone playing his songs for people that were waiting in line to entertain him.
Yeah.
A little bit of hustle, huh?
Yeah. When he didn't have a drummer in the band, he would play both drums and keys for every song.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
Does he like Clockwork Orange?
Yes.
He is very, very well read and very literary. Yes, indeed. Yeah, but
you've been doing research.
Yeah,
We do research in this house.
Yeah.
that's
one
great.
thing.
I
I'm
love that.
noticing that.
I love that.
What else did you
Yeah.
discover?
We'll have to wait and find out.
Well, so have you said you have artists reaching out to you. Are you guys chasing anybody? Do you have like a hit list of like where you feel like, they would be right for us, or do you feel like, or that would be a good name for us? Do you approach it that way at all?
Oh, definitely. We think about it. I mean, there are a few artists and groups in town that we have our eye on for sure. Those we'll keep a secret for the time being. But, especially in the rock community and the hip hop community, we have our eyes on a few people. But like I said before, things have been growing incredibly rapidly for us. So we're taking things very slowly and being extremely selective with who we have our eye on for that very reason. Once we have a few more hands on deck, we can certainly, open up the doors a little wider for people. But I mean, there's no shortage of talent in this city. And I can tell you that I will listen to every single track that is sent my way. And, I'll listen to it with an open mind.
That could be a rough job.
Well, fortunately, I have some help coming starting next week. And also, we're getting a little older now. I mean, I'm pushing 40, and I don't want to be out in the clubs every night checking out bands. So I was on the phone today talking to this very, very bright 23-year-old guy. And I'm like, how would you feel about working for us and just going out to shows every night and checking out bands? Like, oh man, sign me up. So I'm like, great, because I don't want to do it.
I don't blame you.
I'm too tired.
We definitely have a list, and I'm still going out to shows and still taking notes.
What's do you guys have like a pickup line? To get in on that? I mean, how do you even broach that with somebody?
When we met the Swift Drag, one of my good girlfriends was tying one on that night. I don't know what they were doing, but we got to the bar and she's just, hey, doing the high pitched voice and the woo woo. And so after their set, it's like, I'm going to go give him my card and we're going to, have coffee. We're going to set something up. So I walk over there to meet the drummer and I hand my card to him. And out of nowhere, she comes and like football player tackles me to the ground. We're laying in this tangled heap at his feet. I'm like, call me. I own a record label. I'm sorry.
I watched the whole thing go down. I couldn't do anything about it. I was paralyzed with laughter.
Yeah,
I had tears streaming down my face.
So my pickup line for them was, just like eating shit at his feet. But no, I just usually just go up and introduce myself just like with any other person. And
D. Harmon, we just sat and talked to him after the show and set up a time to just shoot the shit with him. And
yeah. Our most recent artist that we signed, that's on, a net profit deal with us, we actually found him when we were organizing a South by Southwest showcase. We were doing a hip hop showcase for the festival, and D. Harmon actually said, "You got to check this guy out. This guy's great." And so his Ghost Boy JC, I got in touch with his manager, and he, killed it at the show. And a month later, we're in contract negotiations. So, yeah.
To put things
great.
into scope, we had a record label for 2 weeks, and then decided to put a show on for our one signed artist, and that show turned into a hip hop festival in the middle of South by Southwest
With 23 hip hop artists, that was 9 hours long.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys do that at?
Sahara Lounge.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And it went off without a hitch. We broke even. We were like, what? We
Joe's
fell under a
favorite-
lucky star.
Sweet. What?
Joe loves the beans
Oh,
there
man.
at Sahara
Oh,
Lounge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
Don't
man.
knock 'em. I don't
I
know anybody
current-
knocks 'em.
That
I
place is
currently do sound
the
there every
best.
now and again. I'm on an alternate list to do sound there. That's one of my favorite places to do recon for bands because you could see them coming up. It's kind of like your starter level venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will not eat dinner so that I could go eat the beans and rice and have plenty of room.
Yeah, dude. This is my dude.
Yeah.
She has to deal with the repercussions when I get home, but
Oh,
it's totally worth every moment.
I'm sleeping in
man.
the
I'll have
guest
like
room
2
that
bowls.
night.
Yeah,
They
that's too
hate the
funny.
beans over here.
What is
Yeah.
wrong with you guys?
They don't
The-
trust them.
the best is-
I wouldn't
I
say I
trust
hate them.
The
but
best
I just,
is on Saturday
I think
night. They
it's
do
just funny.
some collard greens with some rice and the beans.
Nice.
That's a whole
I
new
do-
one.
It's an interesting. It's
I'm
just an
with
interesting
you.
thing. It's like when you
Yeah.
walk into a
Better than
bar,
popcorn.
rather
Better than
It's
popcorn.
like a
it's
crummy
not just
dive
a
bar.
Are you talking
you
about
know?
Skylark
Dive
Lounge?
Just
bar.
any other
And then
lounge
you
with
see
the
this
White Horse Skylark.
dim lit dive bar, and there's a cauldron of beans in the corner. It's like, you're gonna be a
Yeah,
little.
it's iffy. I'm iffy about it.
Yeah, it's not my first go-to.
I just have too much trust.
Try the
Yeah.
I
beans.
mean,
Cool,
it's,
you guys didn't
it's
do
not
anything to the beans.
gas station sushi. Like it's
No,
still,
no, I get it. I'm just saying it's not a normal.
Well, don't they have
normal
chips too? And
thing.
people are just reaching their hands in there. There's some suspect characters in there
Yeah.
early
Oh,
in
yeah.
the evening, like before things get going. You've got a couple of people
It's
with
like the
no
peanut
teeth.
bowl. You
And-
stay away from
yeah,
the peanut bowl. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hope your
I love that place there.
that,
Right
that
when
builds
they
up
need to
your immunities, man. I never get sick
You gotta hope they're
because
right.
I eat the
You
beans.
eat the
Yeah.
beans.
You
Yeah.
never get sick.
Collard green Saturdays. Collard green and rice
Oh
Saturdays.
man, so good.
See, that's
Keeps me going back. Keeps me going back.
I agree. I thought that was very odd. I'm like, is
She's
there
like, "What are
a
you
buffet
eating?"
But
in
again,
here?
better
What's
than
happening?
popcorn. That like
Yeah.
at some of the other places.
I'll give you that.
Although
It's funny
the,
that we've talked about the beans at Sahara Lounge before, though.
Several
And it's just
times.
coming
Yeah.
back.
the,
Yeah,
the
it's-
Skylark
this is the
Lounge
thing.
popcorn is pretty badass too. So I'm just saying.
Oh, wow.
They stopped serving the popcorn. Now they have a full kitchen. They
I
do
noticed
pork
that.
chop
I met the
sandwiches
chef the
and
other
stuff
day.
like
There was
that.
a blues jam on Thursday nights with the blues posse.
That's right.
I was like, "There's a chef here. What's happening?"
Oh yeah, they made it a kitchen. It used to be a bar and grill, right? They just started using that kitchen again. So
Skylark's a good place. One of our other artists has a residency there. He plays every Tuesday night? Oscar Ornelas.
oh yeah, jazz.
Oh
right?
yeah. Oscar is an institution in this
Yes,
town,
yeah.
man. He
I love
is
Oscar.
he's unbelievable. He's about to head out on tour overseas.
He just released an album called Some Gospel.
Yep.
My favorite track on there is 40 Days.
That the whole thing's good. He just
It's
did
kind of a
his-
slower start. Is that the? We listened to some of his album. Is that kind of a slower start, slower jam on that one?
It's kind of got that like
Not slow. per se,
Yeah, but yeah.
Yes.
Compared to some of his more upbeat.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know how to describe it, but.
Yeah, it's his first solo project. You know, he's played with everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
he's played keys for Guy Forsyth. He's played with Jabo, Matthew Robinson. He's played with everybody in town, and this is his very first solo album. And he just had his album release party at Mohawk, and the place was jam packed.
Nice.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you just can't be in a bad mood around Oscar. He's just got like ear to ear smile, and Just a damn good guy.
Every time we close a meeting, he gives me a big hug. I feel
Love
like
you, man.
better about my life. I'm
I
like,
love you,
things are
man.
gonna
Yeah.
be okay. They weren't bad. I just feel better
I just
now.
feel better now. Oh, yeah, just good juju around that guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this: what's you've got clients coming in now. You're gonna start hiring. What's like your 6-month plan? What's like your 1 month plan? What's like your 5-year plan? For
He
this,
really flipped that on us.
for this label.
That-
What do you see for it?
Well, what's really important to us right now is creating accessibility and affordability for recording for artists. And with that in mind, we are sinking all of our available funds into a studio build out at our home that we just bought. So Chace is having a damn good time.
Every day a Sweetwater box arrives.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's going out to tour the Rupert Neve facilities pretty soon. And so 6 months and 1 year down the road is all with the studio in mind. We're going to have our entire garage turned into, a state-of-the-art recording studio. We're going to have our office turned into the booth. And that's what we're focusing our energies on right now. We have plenty of studio partners around town that we work with. And
Yeah, one of the common requests from every artist that we meet is, I want a home base to record in with a reliable engineer. I mean, you'd think with all the artists here that they'd be like a studio that like is a home base for people. But engineers are flaky as musicians. And when everybody's trying to get into the same studio, it's hard. So to have a home-based studio where everybody could get together and know that there's going to be a reliable engineer, me, there to sit there and engineer for them, that's comfort. And I owned a mobile recording studio. I'm used to having to jump from different places to get acoustics and be able to record a commercial album. So having a home base that I could design like every square inch of is going to be so much easier.
Yeah.
I've already built gobos for the house. We're already starting to run conduit from the garage downstairs to the office upstairs. We already have an intercom system that's going to be state of the art that I designed. I mean, and like Stormy said, be touring the Neve factory in Wimberley to come up with a custom-made Neve console for us. One of the only ones. I know that there's a couple studios that say they have Neves. Their API boards. Will be one of the only studios with an actual Neve console in here.
And it's going to be interactive. So when you're downstairs recording, we'll have flat screen TVs. You can, the engineer can see the artist downstairs. And so, yeah, it'll be fully interactive. And also you'll have me there making like chocolate chip cookies and shit.
I just thought it was like, what about a studio with in-house catering or something like that?
No, so one of our last
Excellent.
what was
I'm
the
like
drink that you
making
made?
I got a bottle of Jameson, a bottle of ginger ale, some orange bitters, and some fresh grapefruit, I think, or like ruby
we
red
called it
grapefruit.
a dirty redhead.
No, a feisty ginger or
Feisty
dirty
ginger.
ginger or something.
Yeah, I like me some feisty
I'm
ginger.
naturally red. So, and I think I was redheaded when we did this, and so yeah,
We had fresh baked homemade cookies and feisty gingers while we were recording. It was probably one of the best recording sessions I've ever
and
been.
tacos and
Yeah, we had a lunch break with homemade tacos
Yeah.
from scratch.
We learned our lesson the hard way that time. I think we had too many feisty gingers.
Can you ever have too?
maybe.
Yeah, I had
One
a
of our
show.
artists was like napping on the floor the one time when I came upstairs. I'm like, okay, no more Jameson for this crowd. Like, we're done. We're cutting it off.
That was the night that we met the Swift Drag,
Mm-hmm.
and I did 2 shows in one night after our recording session. That was a long day. Yeah.
How much you charge an hour? Because I might just come hang out.
Come on over. Come on over.
The bar's open.
As long as there's a cauldron of beans in the studio.
Well, we'll have your drummer there. Joe will be there.
I'll be like there already. I'll be like stirring the
Stirring it.
I'm
Yep.
waiting on you guys.
Joe, half my family is Mexican. There's always beans in my house.
Yep. Or tamales.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff. We like to, like the last part of the podcast, we always like to do our simple truth segment, I call it. So we've looked for a few questions on Yahoo. Yahoo wasn't as giving today. It was kind of tough mining some questions.
People are
But
getting their answers.
there's a website called Yahoo Answers. It's a total cesspool of questions and
Oh, jeez.
a community. I can't believe it's like anybody that still relies on their Yahoo email address is the type of people that ask questions on this.
That's what I set up for my spam.
Oh, for your spam.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's not like your primary.
He
like-
still has one though.
I still have one too.
I still have one
I don't
as
even
well.
check it though. Yeah, I don't
I
even
know.
have that.
I set that up as like my fail-safe for like my iLock account is on there because what do you ever like update your iLock account for? Nothing.
fair.
So, but I need to know that it's safe, and I know that I'll always have a Yahoo account. So
Well, you have to be a current active user to ask questions on this.
sadly,
And so
I
it's
qualify.
mostly just really terrible questions, but sometimes there's some where I think we can help.
Hit
the-
me.
We can help the
Too.
people out. Yeah,
If they're still using Yahoo, I think a lot of them still dial up.
could be. Yeah.
My mom still has
Probably.
an AOL account.
Yeah, see? This
Where's
is who
my
we're
free
talking about.
AOL? hours?
Hotmail.
Yeah, yeah.
She's got the CD. Can she say, can I get the CD from her next time?
Cool. So I've got a few questions. So we'll just I'll just kind of go around the room, ask everybody a question, but everybody can tag team the questions. It's not it's not really a game necessarily. We just want to give some folks some guidance
Yeah.
as they need.
All right.
Source
All right.
programmable
There we have it.
guidance.
Lines here when you want to.
All right. Here, let's go this way. We'll start with Joe.
All right.
Go
That's what you get.
counterclockwise. Yeah. Joe. Hey, what should I buy with $140?
Oh, man. That's a lot.
And I like to imagine this where it's you can't like put it into savings and it doesn't go. You can't like put it into a bigger sum. Like just think about what you would spend $140 or recommend to somebody.
$140.
Yeah, cash right in your hand
Yeah.
right now.
I've got $140 in hand.
Oh man.
It's a Friday. You don't have to work tomorrow.
Oh,
I can-
man.
I can try to help.
You know, well.
Are you gonna call a lifeline?
First
Phone a
off,
friend.
First off, I'm getting. I'm gonna start with some food. I'm gonna go somewhere
Yeah, I like
that
the
I
food
don't
idea.
I don't normally go to. Somewhere treat myself. Like a nice
Yeah.
Red Lobster, or
What?
or an Olive
On
Garden. No,
$140.
Those biscuits
Get
are
some
good.
cheese
Those little
biscuits.
cheese
I'm just kidding, but I am. I'm gonna go somewhere, not a Red Lobster or fast food restaurant or Chili's or anything. But I'm gonna go somewhere that I don't normally do, so I treat myself a little bit.
Treat
To that-
yourself.
Treat yourself to a little bit of a nice seafood dinner, and then with something left,
A nice seafout dinner.
with whatever's left from that. Which
So
is
what are you gonna do with
probably-
the extra $120?
Yeah, we got a ways to go.
Jeez, where did I go for this seafood?
He's gonna get some
$20
beans.
Going
from
to
our
Long
line.
John's.
Yeah, geez, $20 worth of seafood. I only got a couple things, I guess. And then I don't know. Maybe you share with your friends. Maybe you invite everybody
wow.
out to a $5 show.
Man, I was going totally selfish, and now I feel really shitty about
Yeah,
myself.
man, be
Well, that's if
selfish.
you're feeling that way. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're like, I want to keep this going, and then you get a massage.
Ooh,
Massage,
man.
yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
I like that.
The
massage is
spa
going to
food.
eat up
Yeah.
a lot of that money.
That's gonna be
well,
pretty
it
much
depends on
almost
where
all
you
of it.
go.
Like
but-
80 to you're looking at like 80 to
it.
105,
Yeah.
115.
I like how he knew how much a massage costs, but not seafood.
Yeah.
You see where my priorities lie. You see the things I've encountered before.
I'll eat a $5 lobster. I don't care. I
Ugh.
don't care where it's from.
Yikes.
God, you can have what? The Ebola virus or something.
And then
Where
whatever's
you're at.
left, is going to the Sims Foundation.
There you go.
Hey, plug.
I love it.
Good man.
Love it.
Good man.
Hey,
What were you gonna say, Brian? Because
I
you
was
were
gonna
like,
say, get
you-
yourself a crock pot,
Get-
make some beans.
Yeah. You have beans all the
Yeah,
time.
there you go.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Buy a,
Get 5
buy a
crock
50.
pots.
You know what?
Go to Costco, get like
Yeah,
a
50
20-pound
pound
bag of
bag, yeah.
beans.
Scrap everything we've just said.
Yeah.
I'm going for the beans.
Lifetime supply.
I'm actually gonna
Let's
go
get all the
go to
beans.
the Hair Out Lounge and just be like, I will pay you $140 for whatever beans are on deck tonight. Give me them.
Give me
Yeah.
the beans.
So spend your money on beans. If you have $140, spend it on beans or charity.
Were you saying, Chase, did you have one too? You were thinking selfish? Is that what
Oh,
you're thinking?
oh man! When you said you have $140, I'm like, what do I have in my shopping cart right now on Sweetwater.com? Or what plugins are $140?
Yeah.
Wave's having a sale today, aren't they?
I guess I could buy
No,
it.
but
So
I
new
spent
symbol.
exactly $140 on Taco Cabana for 2.
oh my god.
And the right amount of the right amount of lumber to build an outdoor bench and table for my deck.
All right.
So when you said $140, I'm like, that's oddly the exact price of the lumber and buying lunch for a friend to help me build it.
Oh,
okay.
together.
Together.
Okay.
I was thinking, damn,
How
man.
many pictures of those shitty margaritas
Yeah.
did you order?
Do not knock those. I will go there for happy hour.
No, I was just
Hey,
thinking.
back
I'm
in
learning
college?
all sorts of things about your dietary intake.
Yeah.
Get it through the drive-through. $140 at the drive-through.
Right.
Taco Cabana for two.
Yeah, I didn't
God.
think you'd meant like
How may I help you?
$140 for two.
Give me $140 worth of food. Anything will work.
I like the idea of like you don't go to like the
18
craziest
pictures
like
of
you
the-
can't. That's not. It's like not enough to go to Uchi, but you could go to somewhere a tier down. And like
You can
get,
go to
like-
Uchi by yourself.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, they have that happy hour
I hear
where
that's good.
everything's half
I feel like
off.
we're plugging Uchi
Yeah.
real
I know.
hard right now.
We're trying to get that
Go to
sponsorship.
Uchi.
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
Uchi.
Really
Yeah.
hard.
Tyson Cole, are you
Go to Uchi
listening?
for $5 lobster.
Yeah.
Put in the
Buy
QR
a-
code.
And then go get some beans at Sarah Lounge.
If you get a
Chef
$140 Amazon gift card, cash that in and go to Uchi.
Yeah. This is let's make this question for everybody. I had written this down. It just happened to be another question.
Wait, time out. What would you do with
You wanna
$140?
Oh,
Casting
now I'd
shade on my plug-in
shop.
purchases.
I'd shop. I'd buy shoes or shit that I don't need or
Target or something.
mani petty Botox. There you go.
Yeah.
The nice thing about shopping at
Mani-pedi
Sweetwater
Botox.
too, to go back to yours, is that you'll never be lonely. The guy will always call you.
My dude's
Give you a
Luke. Who's
call,
your dude?
Talk to you. Oh, Evan.
See,
we
everybody
have
has a
talks.
Sweetwater dude.
I
funny
think
if
he
you-
talks to
good
Luke
talks.
from Sweetwater as much as he talks to his wife.
Well, didn't like
I talked to Luke more than I talked to you.
Well, there you go.
He's been talking about it.
Yeah, you invited him to the Slippery Noodle show.
Yeah,
didn't
I think
you?
he
Yeah,
might
they're
come
in
one of these
Indiana,
times.
aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
They just had Gearfest in Indiana. I know
Nice.
all about Sweetwater.
I want my Sweetwater guy to come.
They're in,
Evan, you better be there. I
Are
know
they
you're
in
listening.
Fort
Evan
Wayne?
from Sweetwater.
I think they're
What's
Fort
that?
Wayne.
Are they in Fort Wayne?
Fort Wayne,
Yeah.
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 That's
Yeah.
true.
Good old Fort Wayne.
That's why I had that shipped to your parents' house that one day because it got there in like 4 days.
That's right.
3 days. All right, sorry. We're now.
All
Sorry
right.
about that. We're plugging
Live.
Sweetwater now.
Sweetwater.
Say it loud podcast. Brought to you
That's
by
going to go a
Sweetwater.
lot further than the Uchi one.
Luke and Evan, let's get some beans, buddy.
Send him Sweetwater beans.
Come hang out.
This was a real question too, and just happens to be. I was gonna ask it. I was gonna ask it, but now it's timely. Do you think it would be popular if I opened a restaurant that was like Red Lobster but with rabbits?
What the hell does that mean?
Red rabbits.
Red Rabbit.
Yeah.
Like they serve rabbits?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Well,
yeah, that's yeah.
You have like
basically a rabbit.
steamed.
like a
You asked two
Steamed bunny bowl.
vegetarians.
casual fast food.
Does he think
rabbit
it would be
restaurant.
what, profitable? Is that what the question
Should
was?
he just open it? Do you think it would be popular?
Should he
Would it be
open it?
popular?
You got your bunny biscuits.
I think that's a
You
pretty
got your
niche
steamed
market
bunny
there.
bowls.
I
Yeah.
think that depends on where in the country
If you were
this
pu- yeah.
restaurant
That's
would
true.
be.
If you were pulling off a random highway at exit 138 and you had to fill up at the
In-
Shell, could you also go next door and
the
go to
middle
a
of-
Red Rabbit?
Rabbit.
in the middle of Wyoming.
Red
would,
Rabbit.
would that be something?
So every single dish is some sort of
Is
rabbit-based
Is it
rabbit
hunting
concoction.
season
I
at
think
the
so.
moment?
I think so.
It is because
Yes.
I drove by one of the butchers down off Chacon, and they go, "Rabbits are here." Like the McRib is back, but rabbits are here.
Oh,
I
Rabbit
can,
season.
yeah.
Jesus.
I don't think that is the best use of your time, friend, on yahoo.com.
Red rabbit. Yum.
It's like the publicist thing. Like, what makes that newsworthy? Other than it being kind of psycho, I don't think anything.
It's kind of psycho.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right. Let's do.
They have a Holy Grail themed dish that's like the bunny from the Holy from the
Oh,
movie.
man.
Oh man.
That's good.
you know.
I mean,
It was him that asked the question.
It was-
he
yeah,
had
it was
the
me.
name. He has the menu.
I was
Yeah.
waiting for backing
You
behind
two
this.
are bad. You can't sit next to each other. You're just going to get everybody off topic.
Chase.
She pointed to Joe just then, for the record.
Chase.
Yes.
When was the last time you pretended to be from Cleveland?
What?
somebody asked that.
Yeah. I think I'd like to expand to say, have you ever like had a conversation with a stranger or something and just totally lied about where you were from? Or
Oh,
I've
I've done
gotten-
that.
yeah.
I've done
I've gotten
Yeah.
confused about which place I'd like to cite that I was from because I was born in California. I lived in New York for 24 years, and I've lived in Texas. In New York, you have to be there for 25 years in order to be an official New Yorker. So I don't consider myself a New Yorker. I haven't lived in California since the 80s, and Texas feels like home. So I'm confused constantly
I think
about
you just
where
gotta
I'm
say
from.
you're from
I
Cleveland.
still wouldn't say that I was from Cleveland. No offense, Cleveland. I just I don't feel like
No?
I know enough
You
to
don't wanna-
get away with it.
You don't want to flee to the cleave?
My friends and I used to tell guys that hit on us in bars that we were from like Russia or England, and we'd be half in the bag and trying to fake these accents. Just
What's your Russian accent sound like?
no, I can't do it sober.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
You're gonna need,
Yes.
Yeah.
you're gonna need some more feisty gingers before that one.
Right,
before
exactly.
That
Oh
accent
yeah,
comes
we used to
out.
do that all the
I
time.
like
when
Joe's
we were
attention
younger.
to detail. He's taking notes.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe's good.
I used to
Joe's
do that.
good
I had
over
a job when I lived in D.C. where I'd travel to different universities, and I'd be just on a plane all the time, like single-serving friends. And I used to just, especially if I was drinking at the airport, like when I get on a plane, sit next to somebody, I'd fake an accent the whole ride. I'd do British accents. I'd be, I can't even do it right now. Like, yeah,
Very
let's go
nice
to
Fight
DC.
Club reference, though.
Yeah, single-serving friends. Like, it was my life for a while.
Well, I mean, when we were playing in Hudson, Ohio, we went to a little bar nearby, and we were telling people that we all went to Alaska University together. We were the Fighting
The
Eskies.
Eskies.
Yeah.
We even had a song. We had a theme. We had our
Yeah.
We had a fight song. We had a
Fight
fight
song.
Eskies
Yeah.
fight song.
Yeah.
Can
was
you
great.
regale that fight song?
Again, not enough
that was
feisty
our
gingers.
first-
for that one.
Go Eskies. Go. Who's something like that.
I really
Yeah.
can't
It's very
recall.
simple.
Yeah, it
There's
was
a lot of
great.
beer.
I'm
There's
not
only
mad. I'm
like
just
F words.
disappointed.
There's a lot of like.
The Fighting
Will it come
Eskies
out later?
beers.
Like if we go get beers after this, will I be able to hear this song?
There's a shit.
I think
maybe.
so. Yeah, I think
We'll
so.
have to hit up Benny and ask
Oh,
him
yeah,
if he remembers.
yeah.
Our classmates.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would talk about like being on the
one
some kind of bowling team or something together.
Fight
What was
Eskies
it?
bowling
Like-
team and
Yeah,
ice fishing team maybe. I think.
Yeah, that was it.
It was an ice
There you
fishing
go,
team.
ice
Yeah.
fishing team.
We really went real far into it for
Oh,
like
yeah.
We got some
just terrible
backstory.
lie.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. There was like teachers made up and all kinds of silly.
It was really fun.
You really have to commit.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That was
Hence the reason why I wouldn't say I was from Cleveland.
Yeah. I mean, who? It's a weird flex,
Yeah, I
You're
don't know.
lying.
My old yeah.
Well,
Didn't you
from Cleveland, all right?
Yeah.
These days though,
I know sadness, all right? Don't talk to me about depression, all right? I'm from Cleveland. That's the only way you could really use it, I guess. Yeah.
they're like, okay, guys, okay, all right, you're from Cleveland.
Our closest lake is Lake Erie. It's the dirtiest lake.
That's who I would get if I pretended to be from Cleveland. I
Hey,
would
no.
pretend to be from Cleveland to the guy who's from Cleveland.
Yeah.
I
They
feel like I
say
know
the
enough about
heart of
Cleveland.
rock and roll is from Cleveland.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Who said
I feel
that?
like I
Somebody
know
said
enough
that.
now, but barely know enough about Cleveland to fake being from it. It could be like Cuyahoga River. Okay, yeah, you're from Cleveland.
Hey, it's near Goodyear, Cedar Point. There's a lot of cool stuff up
Cedar
there.
Point's awesome,
Cedar
man.
Point's great.
That
yeah.
Cleveland Jacobs
Magnum
Field,
Force.
Where we were last year. That bar next to
That
the
sounds like a
baseball
condo.
field was awesome.
See, you
a
could
ride.
be
It was a
telling the
roller
truth or
coaster.
lying right
Yeah.
now, and I have no idea.
It seemed cool. That bar by the baseball field was awesome. Like you
We
walk
got
up
you.
to the
Oh,
field
Wilbert's.
and look through there.
we're playing
look
there
through the
again?
fence, Yeah.
Wilbert.
Playing
Yeah.
there again in a few weeks.
We got
Cool.
you. We're
Real
all
excited.
from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they got Odell. So
Yeah. How about that?
Now
Sucks.
they got Odell.
Wait, they have Odell?
Yeah, I'm a Giants fan. That
Oh, this
sucks.
is football, not beer.
Yeah.
Did you say this is football, not beer?
Yeah, I thought like Odell Brewing moved from
Oh, yeah.
Colorado
Oh,
to
yeah.
Cleveland for
Yeah,
some
yeah,
reason.
yeah.
I was like,
Nice.
oh man, that's quite a change.
Odell's, yeah.
Are they expanding or are they moving the whole
Actually, I
facility
love
over there?
Odell's. One of my favorite breweries.
They use local water for
Yeah.
From the Cuyahoga.
Yeah.
Who
Cuyahoga.
ships in water? I love when beer comes in. We use local water. It's like, who ships in water to make beer? Does any brewery do that? All right. Stormy. Can goths be farmers?
God.
Can what? be-
Goths.
Oh, goths. Goths.
Yeah.
Can
Be
I
goths-
thought he said
Farmers.
thoughts like that hoe over there, and I was like,
I thought he-
thought be a farmer?
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Thought.
that's
let's do
good.
both.
Can
Or
thoughts
goths,
be okay?
yeah.
Goths
Could totally be a
Can that hoe over
farmer.
there be a farmer?
Goths cannot be farmers because their alabaster skin would
gosh.
burst into flames
you're
at the
True.
first contact with the sun. But thoughts could
Yeah.
definitely be farmers
Those
because
hoes over there.
those girls have got some, lower body strength.
You can't buy an ox, just buy
Yeah.
a couple thoughts.
Welcome to Hose
Those-
with Hose, with
Those
hose
girls
Farms.
they could do it. Those are some strong women.
Hose and hose?
They can put up with a lot of shit
Hose
than
and Hose
thoughts.
Farms. Hose with Hose and Hose?
Very good question though, but goths definitely not.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to put a pair of shears in a goth kid's hand.
Plus, aren't they wearing?
That's true. That's an even better one. And they're wearing black too.
Aren't they exactly? That my
Yeah.
next point after
Yeah.
that one was that
They
they are all
don't-
wearing black.
They don't
Practical
strike me
clothing.
as an industrious people either. Like I feel like farm work is like rather rigorous.
Yeah.
I feel like a goth would just be like, I don't care if it grows or not.
You've never met a goth from Cleveland, then.
Yeah.
The corn was making fun of me. All right.
Log tradition of non-farmers.
Hey, Brian, is 42 too old to start smoking cigarettes?
I'll let you know in 3 years.
I think that's the middle range where you shouldn't start. Right? I think once you get a certain age, you should do everything,
76.
You're going to die soon.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the middle range. Like, don't fuck with yourself like that.
Yeah.
Unless you're a recovering drug addict and you just got out of
Ooh.
rehab and you're,
Good
that's
point.
the-
That's a
I was
good
gonna
point.
say, I was like, how clean are your lungs before that? Like,
Yeah.
have they been clean for 42 years?
Yeah,
Is
are
this
you-
just
are
like,
you-
If it's
is this like
shooting
the
up,
less-
Back
smoking
from
a
meth
cigarette.
and going
Yeah.
to cigarettes
Yeah.
because that's a good transition.
then at 42
Yeah.
is a great age to stop doing meth and start doing cigarettes.
It's like-
smoking cigarettes.
I've never jumped out of a plane or anything, I don't plan on doing that in the middle range, but when I turn 85,
Sure.
I'm on the way out.
That's a good
Meth and
point.
airplanes.
Yeah.
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 I think it was cigarettes. Not meth.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't
a
know how
totally
we got
different
on meth.
conversation.
I think it was my fault.
I said it once and y'all
You
rolled
should definitely
with
wait
it.
till you're 85 to start meth.
I'm thinking that I've always thought that I was like, you know what? I could probably get into drugs when I'm in my 80s. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
been watching a lot
You're
of
on the way
Breaking
out.
Bad lately, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could do some meth when
Never
I'm
too late.
Some
when I'm in the
psychedelics.
80s. Yeah.
No.
It's never too late.
Let's rip
Right.
it up, man. Just rip it up.
I also wonder if you start something at 42, you probably don't. You're probably not moderate about it. You probably lean into it pretty hard. I would guess.
Yeah.
Can you just start smoking? I'm gonna smoke one cigarette a day at 42, and I haven't done it my whole life. Be like, oh, this is good.
What's the motive at that point to start? What would make somebody start smoking at that
Oh,
point?
Kids
probably
are
a
at the
bunch of
house.
reasons.
Yeah.
Trying to be cool?
You know?
Break up.
Kids are out of the house at 42.
Yeah.
When are you having kids?
I don't know. Somebody had kids early.
He
They're out of the
likes
house
beans,
now.
but not math.
They're out of the house now.
Not
24.
When I left, when I
24?
left,
That's not bad.
no, when I left, my parents maybe started smoking cigarettes. Like, all right, well, cool. That's cool with you guys. It's cool with me.
yeah. So there you go.
I approve.
That's my answer. Is there's a window
So
where
you're
you
saying
don't start something.
if you haven't
like
started
that.
yet, you're already too late.
You should wait.
Wait then.
Wait a little bit.
Wait
longer.
more.
Yeah.
Live life a little longer.
Yeah.
And then smoke like 6 packs a day.
Yeah.
Then you can catch up. Then you can spend the last 10 years of your life smoking a pack a day.
Yeah,
Really.
some unfiltered reds.
It only
or-
takes
Yeah.
7 years out of your life. So
yeah,
Right,
there you go.
exactly.
All right.
plan those 7 years accordingly.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, one more for Mr. Brett. Let's do. I can't decide which one. Would you say that your life is full of spaghetti?
like a like a semi truck full of spaghettis, or
Your
Is
life.
this metaphorical spaghetti?
yeah.
or-
What kind of?
What is spaghetti a metaphor for?
I would say
Cigarettes at
Noodly
42.
nonsense, if
Meth.
you will. Yeah.
What instrument do you play in the group?
The bass.
Okay, yeah, definitely not spaghetti.
I would say not enough spaghetti.
I feel like when I grew up, maybe as an 80s kid, pasta was a staple 3 or 4 nights a week.
Oh, yeah.
Spaghetti or ravioli or lasagna. I mean,
Yeah.
grew up in the Northeast, an Italian family. There's a lot of carbs and dinners. I
Yep.
feel like I don't have enough of that now.
I
have enough
enjoy
carbs.
pasta.
I'm not starving for carbs, don't worry. But
I could use
Not on
more
pasta,
spaghetti
yeah.
in my life. That's for sure.
just basic spaghetti and meat sauce. It's so easy, and I feel like we don't do it enough.
So the answer is no, not
So
enough.
not enough.
Not enough spaghetti.
It's not full of spaghetti.
It's
Can
not
you
full
have
of
enough
spaghetti.
spaghetti?
I don't know. I've never been
Is there a
tested.
limit?
I would say yes.
So I
would
don't
say
really
yes.
know.
I would say there's a limit. Because when you're sitting there and you're like, oh, man.
Oh, you mean in one sitting?
I don't know.
But
I
over
would
a
say
life?
one
No, I meant
sitting.
over a lifetime. I didn't say one sitting.
I would say
Okay.
no.
Like you give up spaghetti.
well, good
there,
pasta.
right there. That was the last bowl of
Yeah,
spaghetti.
good
on
pasta.
good pasta.
See, we're talking about my mother's,
like
my
fresh-
Irish mother's attempt at Italian.
Well, do you know about the Italian tradition of at Thanksgiving bring out spaghetti at first?
Yep.
That's the first thing that
I do know
happens,
that, yeah.
and then it's kind of a fake out. Like if there's somebody new at dinner, they think oh, this is
They
weird.
go hard
That's
on the-
dinner, and then the spaghetti goes away, and then the Thanksgiving dinner comes out.
What do they
Yeah.
do with all that spaghetti?
Well,
just save it for
just-
like
yeah.
like
Goes in-
leftovers.
The
it
next
goes
day.
into
Take
the
it to Sahara
spaghetti
Lounge
truck
and-
and
Throw some beans in it.
Yeah, there you go.
A little Midwest
Boom.
spaghetti. That's
Yeah.
there. The little 5-layer spaghetti.
Italian Midwest spaghetti.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's
Tuscan
definitely
white
a
bean
thing.
pasta.
Hey Joe, what are you doing right now? Just having some spaghetti and beans.
Hey, man. We're at the Sarah Lounge. You guys want to come over? They got some
Got 140 bucks in my pocket today.
My uncle started smoking cigarettes today, and we're just eating beans.
He just hit 42.
We're gonna head down to the Red Rabbit later and have some spicy.
It's just outside of Cleveland.
Yes, it's perfect.
I think we hit them all. I think that was
I
all
think
the
that
answers.
all the way around.
You gotta end this podcast
That's
now.
the
It's not
answer
gonna get better
to
than
the
that.
question, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Something better's happening.
trickfinger.us. .us. Great domain. Check it out. I guess people can find contact information
Yes, they
for
can.
submissions or to just whatever kind of business
Absolutely.
they want to do with you there.
Absolutely.
I know you have the links to your artists on there.
Mhm.
And from there you can check out their YouTube, Spotify, and all that as well.
Yep.
I'm sure, are you active on all the grams and all that stuff?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, definitely active on all social media platforms. Stay tuned Monday, July 15th. One of our artists, Demi the Daredevil, is going to be on the CBS morning show.
Nice.
Cool.
You can check him out. He'll be playing 2 of his brand new tracks.
Very cool.
Is it Trickfinger for all the socials like for
Yes,
Insta?
Trickfinger
So-
Records.
Okay,
Yeah.
Trickfinger Records. Nice.
Cool.
Very good. And Fair City guys going on tour here.
Woo!
Yeah.
In it.
We'll be on the road when
Yeah,
you
we're
listen to this,
pumped.
I think.
This is like
This comes out, yeah.
coming up real fast.
Man,
Next week.
I need to get an air mattress before we go.
Ooh, smart buy.
Well, dude, it was
It's a good
last
buy.
year. If it would have worked right last year,
He was
I
gluing
brought
a mattress
man.
every spot.
I had a camping pad, but it was like I'd used it in the past, and it was awesome. It was like sleeping on a mattress. So I just brought, but it condenses down. I brought it with me, and I was like, no matter where we're at, if I sleep on the floor, I'm gonna be sleeping like a baby. And it had a hole in it the whole time. It had more than one. I couldn't find it. I got Gorilla Glue, and I'm like, Matt, I'm in the
Every
room,
day
just like just
Gorilla
trying to find this fucking thing. I'm like, I got it.
That's where his glue addiction started,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And it would blow
Yeah.
up, but then by the morning, you'd be like,
I'd be like, on the hard ground.
I had one of those high ones like that, and by the middle of the night, you had legs like you were flipping like an accordion.
yeah. Man, that's funny. But yeah, tour will be fun.
all right.
Yeah, super pumped.
Yeah.
You know, to find a leak, you just submerge it in water.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a big enough cup.
You know the problem there.
Touche.
Yeah.
Matt, you're just gonna leave what's called half price books for a couple weeks. Come with us
Sure,
still,
yeah.
right?
Matt went with us on tour last year, and it was
That's
it was
great,
awesome.
yeah.
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 That was long. That was like a
Podcast
month
on
long.
the road. That was
Yeah.
really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was that was our longest one we did, and it was grueling. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
anyways.
You guys
Especially
get that same feeling where you can't stand being on the road because you miss home, and then you get home and you're like, oh man, I wish I was on the
Yeah,
road.
want to be back on the road.
Yeah. There's like a few day
There's a-
window when it's just like I don't know what to do with myself
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the tour.
Yeah.
I don't know who I
Mhm.
am.
Those
You don't
first-
have
Who
any
am I?
dates
Yeah.
and obligations to be
Yeah.
anywhere. You're like,
wake up in the same
It's a weird
place.
thing.
You know.
Yeah.
There's almost like a depression that came from it in a way for like a
Yeah.
week because especially
for
the second
sure.
half because we were driving every day,
yeah.
getting to the spot. You guys would play, then we'd go that night or that morning, like every
Mhm.
day. Then like
Yeah.
all of a sudden we're back, and you wake up and you're like, "What's my purpose?
What do we do?
today?
Yeah.
What do I do?"
today?"
That's definitely a real thing. It was like
I think
we
did-
like
I
a
think
depression
we did
after tour kind of thing.
19 cities in 21 days,
Yeah.
all the way up
Oh,
to New York City
God.
to Colorado and down and anywhere in between.
It's
And
that
it was-
one right there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that guy there.
I was looking at that before we started the podcast.
Yeah, that's the
It
one.
was,
Wow.
Anyways, it was grueling. It was fun. So we got that coming up. We're looking
So
for
Good on
what are you
ya,
doing to
boys.
counter your depression when you get back?
a lot of weed.
Those cigarettes at
The
42.
Sims
No, yeah.
Foundation.
Yeah,
Bring it
cigarettes.
back
Gonna
to the
pick
Sims
up
Foundation.
cigarettes.
Yeah. Go talk to the Sims Foundation. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Plug.
Set up your appointment now.
Yeah, right. Definitely. Well, we should order Franklin's right now. That way it'll be here, ready for us when we come back. Just
One
pick it
year
up.
we all got massages when we came back. Actually.
Yes,
Bring
we
it back
did.
to
We
that.
had to do it a week after we got back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still needed it.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
you guys
still
will make
need it, just not as
$140 on tour. You can,
You're gonna all
you
get-
can all
Yeah.
figure
We'll see
out-
about
Massages.
that. Yeah.
We can buy some beans.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cool. Well, yeah, you can follow that Fair City Flyer on the gram. All that stuff.
I'm just
Easy.
thinking about Joe in the back of the van. Just
Like a crock pot. He's got the AC adapter so you can use the cigarette lighter in the back of the van to make
Don't turn
beans.
so hard, my beans.
no.
Spilling out the side.
Look out.
Selling them at the shows.
Nobody asked him, but he's just like, the beans are ready, guys. The beans are ready.
Plates and-
Man, we
Oh man,
Yeah.
Fair
Couldn't-
City Fire like beans and stuff. Fire beans.
House next to the drum
hate
kit on the
this.
riser.
Oh my gosh.
eating spoonfuls in between
Yeah.
sets.
I hate this so much.
It's actually just a drum. It's a drum with the head off, and it's just
There you
beans
go.
inside of the drum
Yeah,
head.
you're basically,
I
how we funded the
I will
tour.
share it all the time if in his story it's him eating beans in different cities.
Yeah, you guys better keep us posted
What are the
on
beans
this.
like in Cincinnati? I don't know.
Cincy
Let's go
beans.
find out.
Yeah, let's find out. See what the bean scene is around here. What's the bean scene like?
That's the band.
I have a
segment
feeling
nobody
this
asked for.
conversation could go on for
all right.
hours
All right, we
with
gotta
these
go, we
two.
All right. Yes. All right. Stormy and Chace, Levi, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so
Trickfinger.us.
much.
Check
See
it
you
out.
guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you
Later.
very much for having us, guys.
Thank you.
The beans are
Joe, let's
fresh.
get some beans.
This time of year.
Can't overstate it.